Hello, and welcome, friends. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time! That's right, the NBA is coming back. December 22nd, the players have agreed to start Christmas basketball. Boom, boom, boom. What about the Harlem Globetrotters? Where are those dudes at? Today, I've got a bunch of cards to show you that I've been picking up recently in anticipation for the NBA coming back. We did have a little bit of a rough patch there where it seemed like maybe there'd be a lockout, maybe we wouldn't get basketball till like 2025, but screw all that. It's back. It's the jam, man, so grab all your pitchforks and throw them at somebody that you don't like. What am I doing with a pitchfork? I'm trying to make this pitchfork joke thing work, and it's not really going anywhere. You know, the only thing that's happening is I'm forking into all these little complex areas of weird shit going on in my brain. I don't really know what to say, so we're going to move on from the pitchfork joke and get right into the cards. First up, we've got Steph Curry. A lot of his cards are going to be on the more expensive side, but nonetheless, 2012 Select right here. Got this in a collection recently, and it looks fresh enough to me to send in for grading, so that's where this guy's going. But any of your Steph Curry cards, the Warriors are coming back. They got a high pick in the draft. We already talked about Clay. Who knows what's going to happen with Wiggins, but this is a team to watch. It's going to have a lot of attention, and Steph Curry is one of the dudes who will be the GOAT-type guy, like a LeBron, like a Giannis, and his cards are going to have more attention, even if people don't realize it right now. So the time to get your Steph Curry cards is now. Russell Westbrook's cards are pretty much at the floor of where they're going to be simply because of his poor showing in the playoffs. But that doesn't mean that Playoff R isn't going to come back and put up a bunch of triple doubles. He might even jam it down like Ice Cube. What's Kim up to? Next up is Montrezl Harrell, and honestly I've got a bunch of his rookies that I picked up. Let me get a little scoop here for you. And some of these will go to grading, of course, but I thought that this card was in a really good spot. We got another Select right there. Haven't even taken that one out of the loader yet. But yeah, Montrezl Harrell is a very desired free agent. He might just end up with the Clippers again, but there's also a chance he ends up somewhere else. And if he ends up somewhere exciting, then these cards could easily go up from around the $8 to $10 mark where they are now. I picked most of them up in the $5 to $7 range, and I think this is a pretty good guy to be purchasing. So I'm not unhappy having a stack of Montrezl Harrell. I mean, the worst case scenario is that he's one of the best bench players again, and you know, if Kawhi and the Clippers get their shit together, then they could end up in the playoffs. So even if I have to hold this card all season, or you know, this card, that's okay with me. I'm all right with that. Next up is DeAndre Ayton, and here I've got his Prism card, paid about $15 for that. And then I've got a bunch of the Select cards I paid $6 a piece for. I think DeAndre Ayton is interesting. He put up a bunch of stats last season. The Suns went 5-0, and they could very easily have a hot start to the new season. And honestly, I mean, there's a lot of rumors going on. Devin Booker might be going to the Timberwolves for that number one pick. I don't think that the floor on these is going to drop unless he like gets injured or really does some dumb shit. And overall, probably a pretty good investment. Definitely has a lot of upside, not a lot of downside. Next up, we've got James Harden. This was a 2012 Select that I picked up, and we also have his 2009 Topps Rookie. Now, this card I probably have about 10 or 11 of. I picked them up all in the $50 to $70 range, and they're all at PSA. They're just sitting at PSA. What are you going to do? It'll be interesting to see if the Rockets are in a good position, you know, who they trade, who they acquire, and what happens with them exactly, what their style of play is going to be like. But James Harden is going to be putting up numbers, and he's going to be one of the most watched, and a lot of people consider him to be the best player in the league right now. So we'll see how things shake out. But if you haven't picked up some James Harden, you might be able to pick up some of his more fringe cards or something like the 2012 Select. I mean, that's a beautiful card. I really do like 2012 Select, and you know, this card goes for $15-20, something like that. That's going to bring us to John Collins. We got John Collins chilling out with Trae Young over there. I know Trae gets all of the attention. John Collins is an interesting player, and he's got a lot of potential, and these are basically $10 or less cards, so I honestly wish I had picked up a few more of them, but I haven't. John Collins is a guy you probably want to pick up. Next, we've got DeMarcus Cousins. That's right. And this is a complete gamble. I paid about $4 a piece for these. I don't know what's going to happen, if someone's going to pick him up or not, but we saw a video. You know, you guys heard before that DeMarcus Cousins is ready for a dope-ass comeback. So we're just going to have to see if DeMarcus Cousins is really fresh and fit, a Jack LaLanne type of a character, or if he's still stuffing his face with barbecue sauce hanging out with Zion. I don't know. Next up, we have Jason Tatum, specifically his 2017 either Select or Prism or Optic. I like these Optic cards. I think they're attractive. It's one of my favorite sets. They kind of have a weird little like stripe groove kicking, but I think Jason Tatum is a player who's going to have a lot of attention on him. Everyone talks about him. I don't have any Brandon Ingram cards in here, but I kind of liken those two guys together as guys who could be faces of the league at some point in the next 5 years. When LeBron is retired at the age of 60 and Giannis is on 8 different teams with Kawhi winning 5 different championships, the next guys in line are going to be guys like Jason Tatum. I would like to see more from Brandon Ingram. I mean, he just looks stoned all the time. That's the problem I have with him. He could easily be the next Kevin Durant if he didn't look so stoned. And that's going to bring us to Karl Anthony Towns. No matter what happens with the Timberwolves, they have that number 1 pick. They're going to get a lot of attention. I, again, told you guys before, I don't think D'Angelo Russell is a guy that you really want to invest in. He's injury prone. He's a head case like Kyrie Irving, and I'm avoiding him. But Karl Anthony Towns is naturally talented. The man is a beast. He might be a Hall of Famer at some point, but he needs pieces around him. So Karl Anthony Towns is a guy definitely picking up. Happy to have gotten these. Already have one of these at PSA, the 2015 Prism Karl Anthony Towns rookie card. But I really do like the way that these select cards look. So Karl Anthony Towns is a guy that you probably want to pick up. You can get these in the $25 to $30 range still. And man, wouldn't it be sweet if they got Devin Booker? What if the Timberwolves traded that number 1 spot and got Devin Booker? They could also get rid of D'Angelo Russell. Just get out of here, man. Go back to your Captain Crunch. Maybe it's just the plague of guys named Russell. D'Angelo Russell, Russell Westbrook, Russet Potato. 2014 Select and Prism, Spencer Dinwiddie. And I wish I had picked up a few more of these because he's looking like more of an attractive option than Karis LeVert. I think he's a man of action. It's interesting to me that he wanted to be paid in crypto and Bitcoin and not just cash, and he seems very passionate about things that he cares about. You can get these around the $12 to $13 mark, I guess now. I picked these up for about $8. Oh man, look at that. That's another DeAndre Ayton I forgot. I do like these emergent colored parallels. I kind of think emergent is underrated. Paid $6 for this. Just a very attractive card. I really like the design on it. Over time, we might see these types of cards go way up in value simply because the design is so attractive. This is an attractive card. You know what I mean? I'd ask this card for its number. What's up, emergent? What's your sign, girl? That's going to bring us to 2014 Andrew Wiggins. And I didn't have a chance to pick up any of his Prism rookies, but I did pick up these Select rookies. And again, probably just picking up a few of these, not a bunch, somewhere in the $10 to $20 range. They tend to go all over the place. I think you can get this Select one right here. This is just the Concourse or whatever. You can get that dude for, I think that's the Concourse, right? Because this is Concourse. So you can get this right here for probably $6, $7. And he might stay on the Warriors. He might end up moving to a different team. He averaged almost 20 points in the short sample of games that he played for the Warriors. And we'll just have to see how things shape up. That's going to bring us to Bradley Beal, and I picked up these 2012 Hoops cards simply because, 1, they're attractive, I really do enjoy this set, and 2, they're dirt cheap. This was the rookie that you could find under $10, and that is not the case as his Prism card is roughly $100. Whatever happens, Bradley Beal is going to put up numbers somewhere and be a key piece in someone's puzzle. That's going to bring us to Karis LeVert, the other Nets player, the guy getting a big raise. Oh, and that's another interesting thing. Jamal Murray is another guy that's getting a big raise. He's going from like $4 million to $30 million. It'll be interesting to see how teams handle the $109 million cap. LeVert's going to play some kind of a role on the Nets, although it's unclear exactly what, if Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant and Dinwiddie and everybody's having a jam party and Jared Allen. There you have it, folks. A bunch of guys that you could pick up. At the end of the day, we're lucky that the NBA is coming back on December 22nd. It really is one of the best gifts of the season. It's going to be interesting to see whether they're going to do another bubble format or everybody's going to be playing in their own arena, how many fans are going to be let in other than the season ticket holders. But man, I can't wait because, like you guys, I love basketball. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it if you'd slam dunk that like button for me. And hit the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. We'd love to have you on board. I know there's a lot of crazy shit going on out there in the world, but I wanted to let you guys know that it's important to remember that no matter what someone's political views are, no matter who someone voted for, we are all Americans. And the best way for us to move forward is to stick together. It's going to take a long time to unravel the insanity of our situation, but we can do it together as a country because we're all Americans. And I don't know about you, but I think it's a privilege to live in this country, and I love America, and I know that we'll figure this shit out. A blessing of care and tranquility upon all of you, my friends, and I'll catch you on the flip side.